With everything that you're saying, I would say you're pretty spiritual and you're pretty connected, and yet you're still having that problem with actually finding the spiritual connection and sacredness of water.
Yes.
And this is what we're going to come up against if we take what we've learnt from the elders into mainstream society. How are we going to communicate this without them giving us strange looks and wondering what the hell we're talking about, because they are so disconnected.
Yeah.
And the problems that we're facing in everyday life, not just water or lack of water, drought, it's everything to do with our way of living is making us sick.
Yes.
And if somebody as spiritual as you are, and you are fairly connected, I would say, is having trouble, then how do we communicate with the rest of them? What words do we use? How do we make them understand that water is so important? Without water, we have no life. I learnt something about storytelling, that it doesn't exist without flowing water, and that it was halted when, within this drought, our First Nations people can't tell their stories because there is no water running out there in their countries, and that's a real problem. And yet, how do we understand that? Because our cultures are so different. We have to find a way of coming together, and it's not assimilation, it's unity, so that we still recognise both cultures, but we work together for the greater good.
Yeah.
And I just, you just resonated with me so much with that. I'm head and this is body, and it's separate, and we need to find a way of joining ourselves and healing ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
And water is going to do it, I believe.
And I'm pretty, I'm banking on the 100th monkey principle that, it's only going to take about 3% of us getting this, and those 3% for the period of colonisation and since witch burning and everything, the knowledge that we have and what lives in our bodies and our connection with spirit that we understand has been pathologised, and we've been put in institutions and drugged. It's actually finding those people, and I connected with, say, 3 or 4 people in the room this weekend, white people, and we're it. And see, and I've got I call them, they're goosebumps, so I call them truth bumps. I know the ancestors, that's the signal that what I'm speaking is truth. I feel it in my thighs, and I get goosebumps all over my scalp. And I think we only have to reach us. We only have to reach those people, and to just break through little layers. Something as simple as knowing that our tears are healing, that it is an act of rebellion to cry. And that's why, it was brave for me last night to sit there and cry when the whale music was playing and not wipe away my tears. That is an act of resistance and activism in our culture, the way that it is. Yeah. And so it's only, it's reaching us. We have it, we've got it. We're the people with the answers, and we've always had them, and that's why we've been repressed a lot. But my services would have been paid for in the past to wail at funerals and things, but instead I can't go to them because I'm what are the words? I'm such a mess, and other people can't feel it. They don't want you to see you crying because it's touching on their pain. Okay. So the more that we do that and connect amongst ourselves, I think there's enough of us that we're the ones to reach, that will start making little changes that will be enough to start off with.
So with what Uncle Kev's talking about, with dropping the pebble in the water and the ripples go out.
Yes.
And we're that pebble. And off we go. Yes,
we're the pebble and the first ripples. Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's what we do with that, and combined with how we change raising children. They're the 2 main things.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for talking.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.